Good evening, everybody. Welcome to technically the third eviction of the All-Seeing Eye. However, it will be the fourth person to leave the game after Nick quit at the beginning of this game week. I've got 5 players here. In all fairness, I did say that we were adding one relevant one to the evictions per week. So we had no one the first time. We had one nominee the second time. This time we have a nominee and the head of house. So next week is going to be the week with the head of house and both nominees actually turning up for the eviction. I can feel it. Anyway, before we get to the votes, let's talk to a few people. Let's start with Logan this week. Hi, Logan.
Hi.
So this time last week, you were sweating it, waiting for the votes to come in. I know that you've got to vote publicly this week as part of a punishment, but do you at least feel slightly more comfortable than you did last week?
A little bit.
Do you have any idea what you're expecting to happen today, or are you sort of in a bit of a blind spot?
I would say probably a blind spot. Like, I know some, but not everything.
Okay, fair enough. Right, who should we talk to now? Let's go to Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi.
So you officially became the first person to have the veto used on you this season. I'd imagine you're feeling reasonably happy about that.
Yeah, I'm reasonably happy, I'd say, yeah. I mean, I was a bit, when I got on there, I was a bit worried because even though it was said I would be used as a pawn, sometimes these things happen and it doesn't go as planned, but I'm very happy that I'm safe and thank you for saving me.
So this time last week, I asked if you'd had to adjust your game plan that you had coming in at all, and you said not so far. Now, even if it was brief, now that you've sat on the block, does that change?
Yes. I mean, I'm finding myself now kind of really thinking about the big game plan.
Okay.
Instead of using all the small, because now it's like everyone almost is very active in this. So we haven't really got any more inactive people. So I've got to really think about the long haul.
Okay. And so, are you going to be making a run to be the next HOH, or does that not fit into your plan? Okay, fair enough. Right, let's go to Chandler. So, we spoke to the first person to have the veto used on them, to the first person to use the veto. What was your thought process?
Going into the week, I wanted Julian out, and I thought that putting Ethan up would guarantee that, but I'm kind of had second thoughts about wanting Julian to leave. I don't know, Ethan just rubbed me the wrong way, and just going back and looking at his Meet Me video and how he calls himself like the group game king, like that's so cocky. Like I kind of want. So I've been pushing this like since earlier today, pushing for Ethan to go. So we'll see what everyone does.
Do you think that that's likely to have worked or not?
It's a possibility, yes. But as you know, this is a unpredictable game. So if not, well, sorry, Julian.
Do you do you think that there's a, well, I suppose either way, do you think that there's a risk that could come out of this, which is either that A, Ethan stays and starts coming after you, or B, Julian stays and just because you've helped keep him this week, your war may resume next?
Oh yeah, I don't expect to like just be completely forgiven. So like if he won HOH, sure. And if Ethan stays and wins HOH, which he most likely will, if he stays, I can't blame them for, wanting to nominate me. So like whatever.
Fair enough. Right, let's speak to Jimmy. Jimmy, I always tend to sort of come to you off a random segue and just let you sort of speak for a while because you do tend to be the most verbose of my cast. But I don't actually have a natural segue or a particularly natural question for you. So what would you like to talk about right now?
Oh my goodness. I guess I don't have a lot to talk about right now. I just think it's crazy how fast these games will turn all the time. And that's games for you.
That's incredibly philosophical in a not particularly helpful sort of a way. Excellent. Finally, let's see what happens if I try and talk to Julian. Hi, Julian. So could you please sum up your week for me? Do you have any idea what you'd might do next week should you survive this vote, or are you just waiting to see? Okay, and finally, could you give us an interpretation of a song, please? For anyone who is just watching the evictions, Julian, if he wants to speak, has to utter a fairly non-favourable phrase and has been trying to avoid it at all costs. So, yes. Okay, so I've had a quick chat with all of you. That means that we may as well get to the vote. I believe I am still waiting for one person's vote. Could that person please send one to me? And also, this is your chance to give any shout outs. The floor is all yours.
Shout out to Minimax that I just found out has no idea what this is.
Excellent.
Shout out to Dalton. Who else? Shout out to Glow.
Is Glow watching? Okay, I was going to say.
I don't know who's watching. What the hell?
I just thought it might have been, people who'd asked you for a
My
shout
best
out.
friend on Tengaged isn't even watching. I obviously do not know who's watching. So,
Okay, right, fine, fair enough. Perfect. I now have the last vote. So, anyone else want to do a shout out? If not, forever hold your peace.
Shout out to anyone in the VL.
Anyone?
Shout out to my haters.
I don't think I've got enough bandwidth to do that many shout outs, Chandler.
Okay. I know I have plenty of haters and I don't care.
Right. The votes are in. No, they're not. Because I managed to forget that Logan has to cast his publicly this week. So, Logan, over to you.
And to simply return the favor for last week, I vote to evict Ethan.
Okay, now the votes are in, and now I can recount them. Okay, fine. So, by a vote of 4-2, Julian, you are safe. Ethan has been evicted. I think that the differing reactions across the little windows speak volumes. And yes, Julian, you can speak now. It's the game week is
Kevin.
finished.
What's up? It's a cute alliance you made. Yeah.
Just to let you all know, the next set of household competition will be a semi-live, like this veto. Obviously, this time, though, all of you will need to arrange time to play it. I will be prepared to do any time within the next couple of hours, and then pretty much any time tomorrow. I may be prepared to go into the next day if I can't make time for all of you in that period, but please make your best efforts. I would like to see a fair few of you try and get it done in the next couple of hours, just so that I've got more time to bully people into giving me a good time tomorrow. Anyway, that seems to be enough for this evening. Just a final word from me to Ethan, if he ends up watching this. Thank you for playing. You certainly put your stamp on this game. Unfortunately, that seems to also possibly have been what has led to your demise. However, you will be the first member of the jury, and so you will have a chance to make your mark again at the end of the game. And on that note, good night, everybody.